Hi, it's the Galaxy Empress, and I'm back with another reading. And I hope you all enjoying your day, evening, night, morning, whenever you decide to watch this video. And I got a little bit of some Kapal here that I'm just gonna let y'all get some of that. Get some of all of that goodness. Okay. So it's a couple things that I wanted to start out by saying is that the last video that I posted, about the somebody from Germany and then like Colorado was significant. And so of course somebody kind of like with the not explosives, but like the fireworks and all that stuff like that. So that was pretty significant. I was also worried about saying something about our leader because because the last time I got information about that, like someone tried to, like someone snipped their ear, and I was just like, I don't really want to kind of put that out there. I'll let other readers do that for right now. But I'm just gonna just start putting out my predictions and just seeing again how long it'll take for it to come. Like what I'm seeing is coming to fruition again. I'm just trying to like fan this copal. I just don't want my smoke alarm to go off. But yeah, anyway, so I was getting something about energy, about so the information I was getting was like I kept seeing ATP, which is adenotriphosphate, which is energy for the cells, I believe. And so something about like energy cells is important for the immediate future I'm getting. There's also a group of people that you have completed a cycle and now they're trying to do something else because now they have more resources and they have a different leader now. So they want to try something a little bit different, but what I was also getting was like a tech term, which was like garbage in, garbage out, or like bad data in, bad data out, something like that. But they had not the best information. So now they're trying to like recoup everything and like I'm getting like an offensive or a defensive front or something like that, where they're just trying to put out a lot of information to kind of like overwhelm you or overwhelm the collective, overwhelm a person. So that way this person can be in like fear and chaos, because fear and chaos is something that rules like energetically, especially if these people cannot handle higher vibrational energies, right? And so what that meant, what it showed was if you short circuit, like if you have too much energy going into a certain area, it'll short circuit something, right? But if you have lower than what you need, for it's not going to short circuit. You're going to be able to get the power. Now, depending on what you're running on that power will determine if it's going to run well or if it's just going to run well enough, if it's going to run great, or if it's just going to run subpar, right? And so what I was getting is that there are certain beings, right? So like humans are in the middle, and then you have beings up top, and then you have beings below. And the beings in the below area, they run on, let's just say 140 kilowatts or something, whatever. And if they go above that, they'll start to smoke, right? If they keep going above that, they get more towards that middle, then they will short circuit and then they will have to disengage. So that was something very significant. The higher beings, of course, want you to be higher, because just like and I was getting this too, like if you're riding, and I think I've said this before in a video, like if you're riding a bike and someone throws a rock at you, it's easier to hit you because they're right there on the same level playing field with you. But if you're in an airplane and somebody throws a rock at you, you don't even know that they exist, right? Because they're all the way down there. It's never going to touch you. But it also depends on the weaponry that you're using to get that airplane, right? So that is also something significant, because I know like with different defense systems, we have, I don't know the real technical name of it, where grounding something, I don't know, where they can like pretty much aim at an aircraft and like level it and bring it down, right? So it's like, then you have some people that are like rockets, where they can go up, but they don't know how to come back down, or they don't want to come back down. Something about that is significant. And yeah. So I think, oh yeah, and about this group of people. So these group of people are kind of like pissed off that they've been throwing things at the collective all year last year, like all the year before that, and it all culminated into one moment, right? It all culminated into this one moment. So everything that they were doing in place, they were putting things in place all year to culminate into this one moment, and it didn't work, right? And so they didn't realize that I guess the collective had already seen what was going on and kind of like navigated through it in a way to where it kind of stayed under the radar. Again, radars and planes is something significant about that. Well, I mean, given what's going on in the US right now, just be careful, I guess. But yeah, so something about that. So there is a group of people that are meeting within the next couple days, within like the next week or two, and they're trying to plan out. So what I'm getting is that they plan from a day to day thing. So first, no, they plan from an hour to hour increment. So the 30-minute increments, they, because what I was getting is like the matrix is big on time, right? And so because they're big on time, they are able to, it's harder for them to get off of that time, like to get off of their plans because everything is like planned by the minute. So they go by hour to hour, and then it goes by increments of the day. So morning, noon, and night. Night is what I was getting is one big block, but morning and noon are definitely two separate blocks. Then on top of that, then they go weekly. So there's a weekly plan, and then there's a bi-weekly plan, then there's a monthly plan, and a seasonal plan. So that's every 3 months. And then there is a biannual plan. So that's every 6 months. And then there is a yearly plan. And then it keeps going on in increments, but then it goes from 12 months to like 18 months. And then some of these plans, they kind of overlap. So there will be, and what I'm getting to say is like there is a overall goal. So like there's like a big objective up here, and then they like break it down into like, so pretty much what you do for a plan, right? Like if you, like, let's say you want to get, like, I want to be able to do this. Okay, if you're going to do this, and you go backwards. Okay, if you're going to do that, what steps do you need to take? And so that's pretty much what it is. So they're planning from the top down, and this is the main objective up here. So they have to fill in like all the little moving pieces at the bottom, and I'm getting like Tetris. So, in Tetris, not all the pieces are like straight blocks, right? So some of them may be straight, some of them may be like the little Z, some of them may go this way, some of them may go the backwards Z, or they may look like a T, or, but you can move those blocks. But after a while, once those blocks hit that line or hit in that certain time frame, right, it gets to condense. So they have to be very careful because there's not that much room for error when it comes to this whole planning, right? So that's why I said it's really hard for the matrix to get off of the time because, in Tetris, the blocks are falling. So you only have a certain amount of time to move that shape into the right spot. And then even if you don't move it, it'll be stuck there. And now you either have a space that needs to be filled, or it's all filled in, or you have to like work it, right? So if you've ever played Tetris, it's a really fun game. That's pretty much what I was getting with like how they're planning. So right now this is the active planning phase, but there's also okay, so I got the 18-month plan, then there's a 3-year plan, then there's a 5-year plan, a 7-year plan, and then it goes, and then just like a 12 or 13, but depending on how things work out I'm going to get between the 5 and 7 year mark will determine if it'll be a 12 or 13-year plan. And I have no idea. This is just what I'm getting. So it may make sense to somebody. So if you look back in your life on how, like, look back 13 years, right? And then look back 12 years, or look back 5 years, look back 7 years, like take those increments and look back and see what was going on in that time frame to see if you can piece together what the overall objective is, okay? Because it's going to help you get out of what they're trying to plan to do to you in the upcoming cycle. So it's going to take for you in the moment to be very aware of your surroundings, very aware of your situations, and very aware of people that are coming into your life at this point. Not saying to be paranoid, I'm just saying just be observant. Watch people and the themes that are coming up. What is something that keeps repeating itself in your life at this time? Because right now we have just completed a cycle. So once you've completed that cycle, look back on what that was. For me, I know what that was. I figured mine out, and somebody else, we were talking about it, and they figured theirs out. And they were like, oh my God, I was literally not even realizing what was going on. They didn't know subconsciously they knew what was going on, but like consciously, like during the waking state, they were just kind of like confused as like, is this really what's going on? Like what I was getting is like fact is stranger than fiction. So they didn't really want to believe it because it just seemed too far fetched. And I was getting like far fetched from Pokemon. So something about that is significant too. Um, so yeah, so look at the cycles, right? So in the upcoming weeks, in the upcoming months, even the upcoming week, like be very mindful. So I would just say, I'm not going to say wait on anything, do what you feel is best. But in the next 2 weeks, that's what this plan is going to be like coming into fruition, right? I'm not sure if the plan is already in motion because I don't get that. I get that they're still in like the planning phase. Right now, they have to like, what I was getting is like, how they take like the blanket and they put it up over their head, over their face or something like that, over their body, and then they like run and then the blanket drops. I feel like they're doing a lot of that, like that right now, just to kind of like keep you on your toes to where you're hyper aware, but don't be hyper aware. Accept the situations for what they are right now and accept them for what you can do in that moment to change it, but just kind of keep your main objective in mind of not succumbing to their objective, whatever. Okay. So that was that. And also, there is also, I don't know if it's the same group of people, but there's another group of people, maybe a group within a group, that misinterpreted your weakening energy that they were able to pick up on. So I'm getting like these people thought that you were pretty much dead. Not really dead, but like dead as far as like energetically dead. Like they couldn't really siphon anything from you. And in their minds, in their collective, they were thinking, oh, this person is just um like they're about to be like they're losing all hope, right? Like, so when they're tapping into your energy, they're feeling like the energy is weaker and weaker, and they're thinking, oh, it's because this person is becoming weaker and weaker, not realizing that they're looking at it from an ego standpoint and not looking at it from like a higher perspective. They don't realize that the collective has realized that these people were tugging on their energy and decided to pull the energy back. So I'm getting that someone is pulling their energy back and actually elevating their energy. And because they're able to do that, these people were confused. So they thought they were going down, and I was getting like a train that was going down one path. And these people are like looking down, like, yeah, like we're going down this path. And then they look forward, and there's no more train tracks. So they're literally actively about to go over, but they're waiting on your train because I'm guessing you must have hit like a detour or something, and then your train is about to come past them, and they're thinking like, well, if we time this right, we can jump on their train and kind of like hijack that train and get on it. So something about trains may be significant or something for you. Maybe you just took a train trip or something. I don't know. But like maybe if we just like jump on that person's train, then we can hijack it and be back in the money. I'm getting like, we in the money, right? So something about that. They also could be Southerners too. Um, but again, they are still on this train that's about to go off the tracks. And what I'm getting is that they're not going to be able to make it on, because it literally takes one thought, one action to pretty much jump a timeline. And that was another thing about jumping timelines. I feel like I'm all over the place, but I feel like this is for somebody gonna get it. Jumping a timeline is not what some people think. Like, oh, I'm just gonna be in this magnificent thing and then blah 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 blah. It's just gonna just happen. It's gonna be magical. I'm gonna see like stars and stuff like that. Like, no, jumping a timeline is literally doing something totally different from your normal situation. Jumping a timeline is literally If when you normally go down Main Street and you make a left, you made a right on Main Street. You can still get to where you're going, but instead of going left, you decided to go right or the opposite. So there is a parallel. And then I was reading something where, well, it was a while ago, but whenever you make a decision, there's like an anti you that makes another decision. And I want to say this is in physics too, because I think, but whatever. Some people get it, some people won't. And if you get it, great. If not, so right? So there's a version of you that goes left, but there's the version of you in the present that went right. So every time you make a decision, that person goes like that life force, whatever that is, that parallel you is continuing on that path. Now, when you want something, when you say like, oh, I want to be a carpenter or I want to be an astronaut, right? And you're going down the path to do it, you're figuring out how can I get to that pathway to do that. Now, let's say you stop somewhere along that path and you're like, but maybe I want to be a lawyer now. And okay, so now you have to shift gears to do that. There's still a parallel you that wants to be an astronaut that has done it and got to it. You just didn't stay on that path. And it works for good and bad stuff. So sometimes, not really bad stuff, but you can be on a path that's not aligned with you and still be in that pathway. But then all of a sudden you have like an epiphany and now you jumped the timeline because now you switched and done something totally different to has put you on the path that you need to be aligned with. That's that. So yeah, so I think that was very significant for somebody. Maybe somebody need to hear that. Maybe they need to hear it from me. I don't know. That's kind of weird. I'm not going to make this long. I'm actually going to end it here because I want to do an actual spread, tarot spread, and dive more deeply into this. But yeah, I just wanted to have this out there for you. And if this message resonated with you, like, comment, shares, and subscribe. I know I don't really say that, but it really does help out. And I appreciate you all, and I hope you have a wonderful day or evening or night.